up, you know what I mean?
I ain't got
Tell them you're doing an interview right now. All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome in to Be True with Rue. This is episode 3. We are live with episode 3. And today, I have a special guest. When I tell you this man right here has been rocking with me literally since birth. This is my big cousin, same blood. Mothers are sisters. So yeah, I'm excited for this episode. You excited? You ready?
I'm definitely
I'm
excited.
saying you've been pumping it up.
Yeah, I've been pumping it up.
I
I've been
appreciate
looking
it.
forward to it.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna attempt to introduce him. However, his introduction is way too broad, and I know I'm gonna need his help. So you are I'm gonna call you a serial entrepreneur. When I tell you this man literally does it all, he has a company, Coleman and Coleman. He also has the Alley, which is a place that he has different events out of. I mean, when I tell you every week he's texting me something like, "You coming down the alley? You coming down the alley?" And as many as I can get to with my busy schedule, I'm gonna be there.
Yes, you do show up. Definitely.
I do. I'm just saying, I'm a support.
Definitely.
So yeah, you do a lot. Like I said, I can't even. So I'm gonna need.
Which is alcohol-based sorbets and drinks and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then I do a lot of community stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
And so.
Okay, what type of community stuff?
I
If
mean,
it's legal community stuff, then it's illegal community stuff.
no. No, it's all good. It's legal.
Right.
Like I like to do a lot for the seniors. I like
Okay.
to do a lot for the kids and stuff like that.
Definitely.
Just a chance to give back.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I love it. Almost any holiday that comes out, whether it's Halloween, Easter, whatever, you gonna see.
We definitely
y'all
doing
in the
it for the
alley
kids.
with
We
the
just
kids.
had a great big Easter party for
Okay.
the kids.
I
They
love
had
it.
a ball,
Okay.
all free. You ain't had to pay.
I was just about to say that, and his stuff is free.
Yeah.
Like you don't gotta worry about breaking the bank, buying tickets, and all that.
Right.
Like,
No,
yeah.
we do for the community for free.
I love
Now I
it.
do have events you gotta pay for, but any
True.
community events that I put on is definitely for free.
Okay.
Because I definitely believe in giving back.
Right.
Because I took a lot.
Okay.
So.
Elaborate on that. So why do you feel so strongly about giving back?
Especially in a community where I live at.
Okay.
And where my business is, I more or less terrorized that neighborhood coming up. You know what I mean? I came from a good home, loving parents, all that.
Mm-hmm.
But as a teen and young adult, yeah, my life took a drastic change. And, I mean, I know I did. At my grand opening, you were there.
I was.
Yeah, at my grand opening when I shared my story about how I got the alley and everything, I explained that as a teen and young adult, I actually burglarized the building that my business is in now.
Damn, talk about a full circle moment.
Yeah. And I said that like that shows you how God turns things around. Like, as a kid, I broke in that building. There was a shoe shop back then, so we were breaking there, still dumb stuff, little sterling silver necklaces. Little teenage dumb stuff that we did. But now I'm a business owner there, and I could actually start making a difference. And that meant a lot to me to get the building where it is.
Right.
I don't think it would have worked nowhere else.
Right.
I don't think it would have worked.
That's like
for
God
me.
putting you on the right path. Like, I'm gonna bring you right back here to the same building. That's dope.
Yeah, I don't think it would have worked nowhere else in the city. I'm telling you.
Not at all.
Right there on Dofell,
Pretty much, and you represent the 1-5 hard too. So I'm just
love
saying.
Love it. 1-5 forever.
1-5.
Yeah, Dofell,
Okay.
Ashburton community, definitely. Yeah, they got my heart. We actually just had a repast for a very good friend of mine's down there too.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And I do that. Everybody that we lose in the neighborhood, they had a repast. Their memorials at the alley.
Right, and then you right across from the funeral home. So it's like they just got walk right across the street to party, like at the repast. So
yeah, so that's also part of my giving back to the community. And I'm also gonna put on a community cookout, the Ashburn community cookout, mid to late August.
Okay, that's what's up.
So that's something I'm excited about.
I'm gonna be there for sure.
Definitely.
Make sure you send me that flyer.
Definitely.
All right, cool, cool, cool. So I do want to know what happened in your past that led you down that wrong road, that led you to breaking into that building which you now own.
So it's no one thing that led me down that path. Like
Okay.
I said, I come from a wonderful family. Like I I don't go to NA meetings and stuff like that. Not
Mhm.
saying anything is wrong with it. I would never speak ill of it or anything
Right,
like
right,
that.
right.
It's just not for me.
Okay.
But my stories don't match theirs. Like most people you hear, they'll say, "Oh, I started hustling because we ain't had nothing to eat and I need to help my mother." That was not my story.
Okay.
We never went to bed hungry. Our lights were never shut off.
That part.
Our phone number was the same from kindergarten up until we just had
Forever.
it turned off after I lost my mother because we
Mhm.
really don't use the house phone.
Yeah.
The phone never been shut off.
Right.
Uh, when they was wearing Jack Purcells, we had Jack Purcells. When they started wearing
Oh no,
Adidas,
what's
we
that?
had
I'm a little young.
Jack Purcells. You know what Jack
I have
Purcells? Oh
no
my
idea.
God,
I
you
was like,
don't
who
know
is
what Jack
Jack
Purcells?
Purcell?
They
Is
were
it a
tennis
shoe?
shoes that look like they
Okay.
got a smiley face on the front of them.
I've never heard of that. What
You
can you
never
compare them to? That's like,
Converse.
got you. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, they're along the lines of the canvas
what's up.
Converses or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
You,
Jack
you telling your
Purcell.
age right now. I'm like, who
Yeah,
is Jack and where where he was Purcell in there? Like,
but anyway, just just saying that to say that I didn't want for anything.
right.
I come from a very loving family and things like
That's
that where
what's
we
up.
was raised like, my parents were pro-black. Very much so, very much
Mm-hmm.
pro-black.
For sure.
So we went to the rallies and we went to campaign for black,
Mm-hmm.
politicians and anything positive. My parents had us in it.
Aw.
So what led me down that path was really just wanting to be a part of.
Okay. So kind of yourself, it sounds like.
Yes,
Okay.
wanting to be a
The
part
wrong
of,
crew.
hanging out with the wrong crew,
Okay.
and wanting to fit in
Mm-hmm.
when I really didn't need to because my personality alone I fit in anywhere. But
Right,
at the
right.
time I didn't know. I thought it was the hip and the cool thing to do.
Mm.
And what a lot of people these days don't realize was 80, maybe 90% of the drug dealers back then all got high.
Hmm.
So it was chic.
Okay.
It was nothing to go in the club and they passed $100 bill around with
Right.
drugs on it and people getting high and stuff like that. It was chic, but it takes over after a while.
Mm-hmm.
It started off as fun
Okay.
and then it turned into a job. You know what I mean? Then it turned into a whole lifestyle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I wasted quite a few years of my life out there in them streets, getting high, drinking, and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Years that I can't get back, but I don't regret it because it gave me my testimony.
That part. Heavy on that.
Yeah,
Okay.
it gave me my testimony, and I think I might have was supposed to go through that.
Mm-hmm.
And I often think about that too.
Yeah. It's a part of your story.
Yeah,
I
I
always tell
often
people
think
that.
about
Yeah.
that.
Whatever you go through, it's a part of your story, a part of your journey, and it
Yeah.
was meant to happen.
Yeah.
It might not be all good.
Might
but
not be all good
yeah,
or whatever, but
everything you go through is it's for your story. So I love that. I love that you
Yeah.
mentioned that. Okay.
So, with that lifestyle came a lot of law breaking.
Okay.
I've always hustled. Like, that's something, even in my addiction or whatever, I kept a hustle. So,
Right. For
cause
sure.
I don't, yeah, I ain't never like depending on nobody for nothing. Like, you know what I mean? I had to get out there and get it myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But I will say that, even my mother's friends and all our neighbors, they always told my mother that
Right.
no matter what your sons did out in them streets, they were always respectful when they saw us.
That's what's up.
And that's something that they could never take
That
away
had
from.
been because mine Rocky ain't play.
Yeah, she ain't play at all. She ain't play at all.
Not at
So
all.
yeah, that's what kind of led me down that path, and
Okay.
I stayed down that path a little too long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But my brother Bernard, he says a lot when he shared. Like he says it all the time. Like I went around a corner when I was 14, and I ain't come back from around the corner until I was like damn near 40.
Hey, yo.
You know what I mean? So basically,
That sounds about right.
you know, and that's what happened. I went around that corner, you know what I mean? I'll be right back. I'm going around the
Right,
corner.
you ain't never come back.
I ain't come
But you
back.
would always call in. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
every family event, every cookout, every funeral, whatever, Spike was
Yeah.
going to call in from the pen.
That's
He
right.
would pass the phone around. We'd be like, Spike on the phone. Everybody get their little couple seconds with him. Like, hey,
Yeah.
cousin. So
Yeah.
I'm even in the pen, you still like poured into the family, and I appreciate you for that. Like, no
Yeah.
bullshit, like for real.
You know, I thank God that I was able to. You know
Right,
what I mean?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
You've been doing like how long you been out?
I haven't been arrested since 2015.
Okay, I was close. I said about 10 years. I was right on the money. Yeah, I said 10 years.
I've been off of paper for about 8.
Okay.
So, you know what I mean?
Gotcha. That's what's up.
My last one was my last one, and I
It
promised
better be.
myself, yeah, that was my last one. I can't do it no more.
Right.
So, you know, I spent a lot of years in and out of prison. I got over 25 years in the penal system on an installment plan. Yeah,
Installment plan.
yeah, on installment plan. I gave 7 years here,
You
5
know.
years there, 4 years here. But altogether, they got over 25 years of my life that I
That's
can't
damn near
get
half
back.
your life, cuzzo.
Yeah, that I can't get back.
Yeah.
I can't get back. But here I am today, though.
I love it though, and I will say you never lost your spirit. Like
No.
you never lost your bubbly spirit, bubbly personality. Like you know how the pen can fuck people up, and
Yeah.
you come out fucked up,
Yeah.
going crazy and shit. But
That's
that never
right.
happened to you, so
Not at
I'm
all.
glad you had some praying aunties, uncles,
All of
grandparents,
that.
ancestors.
All of
Like
that.
we was praying for you hard.
And I'm a firm believer in you do what you do, you get what you get. It's part of the game.
Pretty much.
You know,
Pretty
you
much.
do what you do, you get what you get.
Right.
They smacked my wrist. I said, okay. I'm going to try it a different way. They smacked my wrist. They got me now. I jack. Y'all got it.
I love it. I love
You
it.
know what I mean? I jack. Y'all got it.
So, real quick, I want to shout out my sponsors. Our first sponsor is Bianca's Studio. I know y'all can see all this beautiful red and black.
Yeah.
So shout out Bianca's Studio, Bianca's Playhouse. This is where I film out of. So definitely shout out to her. Right now she in the back in engineer mode, but normally she's up here. So shout out to her as well as shout out to Street Corner Fashions. I'm their brand ambassador for Street Corner Fashions. So shout out to them. And I'm going to plug both of my sponsors in the comments. And also, I would like to shout out my homeboy whose shirt I'm wearing. Y'all can see it better once I stand up and do the after pictures. But shout out to Freedom Mind Clothing. I'm actually wearing one of his brands. I was in his fashion show a couple weeks ago. So shout out to my sponsors. I love y'all. All right, my bad. I had to do my little commercial break. And then you had your little drink break and everything.
Yeah, get them their flowers.
All right. So, real quick, what advice would you give to the youth so that they would not take that path that you took? Especially, let's say, specifically the black boys. What would you tell them?
It's not worth it.
Okay.
It's not worth it. It's not because, like I just said, I got over 25 years of my life that I can't get back.
Right.
I missed a lot of key years in my kids' lives, my mom's life. And I tell you what, my biggest fear of getting locked up was something happening to my mother while I was away and I couldn't get to her.
Right.
And I mean, I've lost her, but I'm
Right.
just saying I was home for it,
You
and
were.
that meant the world to me.
I
But
think
yeah,
you
I
probably
would
would have broke the fuck out of the pen.
Man,
And
if they didn't
Yo,
let me out, she knew I was getting out. I
you
was
was gonna
coming
get the
up.
fuck
Oh,
out.
yeah, no doubt.
I would have probably been in your driver like, skirt, cuzzo, let's go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I would just tell them it's not worth it.
Mm-hmm.
I already did it for us. It's not even worth it.
Sure.
And that's what I tell, because I do a lot of mentoring and I, keep a lot of younger guys around me and, young guys and girls. And, I try to steer them away from that type of life. It's, it's plenty of other ways. Look at me. I pull myself up by the bootstraps and
For sure.
doing pretty well now. So
You are. Not
yeah.
pretty well. You the shit. Like, I'm trying to tell you. That cousin always sending me stuff, and I'm like, I got another event. Okay, let me go ahead to this.
Yeah.
And nah, you doing it. Like, I'm telling you, you really bringing the community together, and you don't charge. Most times it's free, or it's like a $5 fee, or a
Yeah,
$10,
it's not
whatever.
much,
It's
you
not
know.
much at all.
It's not much. I love what I got going on down there now, and the partners that I partner with, Lil Black and my man Dre, and I got a whole lot of good people around me too.
Right, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out my man Lil Black.
Okay,
That's
shout
my
him
partner.
out. Okay.
That's my partner. Dancing
what's up.
Dre, Beats
Okay.
by Dre, OG Neek.
That's what's up.
My
Everybody
whole
else, shout
crew.
them all out.
Yeah, my whole crew. I'm telling you, I got a serious crew.
Yeah.
And that makes it all the more better.
Okay.
When you got a lot of people around you that support what you do. And me personally, I'm not a greedy person.
Okay.
I don't want the spotlight. I don't want to be over top of nobody or
Yeah.
nothing. I'd rather partner with people like, you
That's
know what I'm
bullshit.
saying? Be an adult.
Right.
You don't need supervision, like, you know
True.
what I mean? And I do that in my contracting business as well. So, you know, I
Okay.
want to leave you on a job site, know when I come back,
Right.
it's done right. So,
So tell us a little bit more about your contracting business. I know you.
so it's Coleman and Coleman. We
Okay.
do
I'm
basically
gonna tag that in
everything.
the comments as
Coleman
well.
and Coleman, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. We do all types of contract,
Okay.
handyman, whatever you need. We do plumbing, electrical, HVAC,
That's what's up.
drywall, demolition, kitchens, bathrooms,
Everything.
flooring, privacy fences. That you name it, everything,
Everything.
except I ain't getting on nobody's goddamn roof no more.
You ain't doing the roof?
I ain't doing
What
the
happened?
roof.
I feel like you got a story to tell. What
No, I,
happened? on the
know,
roof?
I got old.
Oh, okay, got you. Got you.
And bones don't
I thought
heal
you
like
fell
they
off
used
a
to.
roof or
No,
something.
I
I'm
ain't
like,
falling
damn,
off the
oh,
roof.
right.
No. But
Okay.
yeah, we basically do everything except for roofing.
Okay. That's what's
And,
up. That's
you
what's
know.
up. And when I tell you the remodeling pictures that you post are like crazy, I'm like, ain't no way that's the same place. So nah, you
Yeah.
really you get shit with that.
Yeah, I take pride in it.
Yeah, you should.
And I want to tell you how I got to that.
I would love to know.
So when I came home from prison in
Mhm.
2015, I want to say,
Okay.
I went and got a regular job. I was doing
Mm.
telemarketing. Like I said, I'm a hustler. I can sell
Right,
anything. So
okay.
I was literally selling life alert bracelets.
I
You
never
know.
knew that.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Right.
Yeah. So what I did, the company I was working for, they had a big room out front. So it's like 30 people out here, all of them with headphones on the phone, you know,
Okay.
doing phone sales and stuff like that.
Right.
And then when we go on break, you go through the back, and they got a smaller room back there with like 5 or 6 little white girls back there, maybe one black girl.
Right.
So I always wondered what went on in that room, right?
True.
So anyway, after about 60 days, I was outselling everybody on the floor. Literally, I was outselling everybody
it.
because I worked for MCI back
Right,
in the
I
day,
definitely
selling
believe it.
long distance and all that.
Right.
So I was good at it. So after about 2 months being there, they pulled me in the office. They was like, we like what you're doing. You're really good at it. We want to give you a raise and a promotion, and
Mhm.
you'll make more money. Your commission will be more. Okay. So we're going to put you in the back. So they
Okay.
put me back there with the little white girls, right?
Oh Lord, not
And-
you and 5 little white girls. I wouldn't have went in that run like this is sad.
No. So what I found out was up front where all of the big the 30 people are,
Okay.
they're selling life alerts for life alert.
Okay.
So let's say each unit sells for $300. They keep 100 life alert, get 200. In the
Mm.
back room, they were buying them wholesale from life alert
Okay.
and keep the whole 300. You understand what I'm saying?
I think so. So
Yeah.
they was making more money basically in the back. They
Exactly.
was
So
okay, got you.
up front, we selling these for y'all, but go ahead sell me some of them, and I can sell them for
Okay.
myself, and I can keep all the money.
Right.
So that's what was going on in the back room.
Mm.
So after about maybe a month and a half back there, I'm out selling all they little. I'm out selling now.
Right.
So here's another trip to the office. They said, we love what you're doing, but you selling too fast. We cannot keep up with the inventory of what you're selling. I'm like, all right, that's cool. You know what I mean? He said, so what we're going to do, we're going to put you back up front to give them a hand.
Okay.
Still going to keep your same pay, still going to keep your same commission, but we need some help getting rid of the stuff up front. So we're going to put you back out there just till we replenish our stock, and then you'll go back in the back room. All right, cool. A few weeks pass, maybe a month or so,
Mhm.
and I look at my paycheck. Now my paycheck back down to the
What you was in the beginning.
what I was making in the
Mhm.
beginning, and so is the commission. So here's another trip to the office. What's going on with this? Oh well, me and the other owners, we had a talk, and we can't afford to keep you back there. You're actually too good, so we gotta. I said, you know what? Fuck y'all. I quit.
Pretty much.
And I walked out the
Fuck you,
office
yourself
and
too
left
much.
out the door, and I was so mad because I've never been demoted for doing better than expected.
Right. I ain't never heard no shit like that.
That's what happened.
You sold too fast at a
I
job
sold
you
too
supposed
much.
to sell.
Yeah.
Make
so
it make sense.
once I quit that job, I sat around. I said, I ain't never working for nobody ever again in my
Love
life.
it.
So I had
Okay.
little drug money left from when I came
Right,
home.
right. Just
And
a
I
little
bought
bit.
me, just a little bit. So I bought a pickup truck, some tools, and some business cards, and I
Okay.
said I'm in business.
Damn.
And I started
just
off
like that.
doing handyman work,
Okay.
light moving and hauling,
Mhm.
and stuff like that, basement clean outs and stuff like that. And I didn't get my LLC or none of that till 2 years later.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
When
I
God
just,
calls you to your purpose,
yeah.
He's gonna call you.
I just said I'm in business. Fuck
Hey.
that. Call me. I'm going to
That's
do it.
funny as shit. That's
I was getting contracts to do whole houses and stuff.
right. That's how most businesses start. From
Yeah.
literally either somebody losing a job or just like fuck this job, and then you start a whole business. Like,
Yeah.
dang, that's
And
crazy.
that's what I encourage. I encourage entrepreneurship to anybody.
Oh, yeah.
It's nothing like it. Whatever you passionate about, whatever you good at,
Go
do it for you. Try to do it for your damn self.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like, I'd never work for nobody again in my life. I promise you that. Ever. I will
much.
not.
Yeah.
So that's how Coleman and Coleman came about.
Okay.
The idea for the alley came about because, I was really heavy into the t-shirt business at the time. I still do it, but not as much as I was.
Got you.
So I initially got that building to put my t-shirt business in.
Okay.
But it has evolved into so much more.
That's why I said during your introduction, I was like, you do so much. I'm gonna let you explain.
It has evolved into so much
it.
more. But that was the initial reason I got that building to do my t-shirt.
And that's one of your t-shirts you got on right
Yeah,
now.
I made
Okay.
Y'all see
The
it,
Alley Spikes Place. Y'all gonna stop
Hold
playing?
on.
Okay, what
The
it say on
alley
the
cats,
back?
you gotta get the
Oh,
back
right.
with the alley cats.
I
And I love my alley cats too.
I love it. So explain the Alley Cats. Who the Alley Cats?
So the alley cats, a friend of mine who was like doing a lot of business with us at the time, Brody.
Okay.
He came up with the name Alley Cats.
Mm.
So when I told him what I wanted the name to be,
Right.
I said because, and
I love that.
it's not even really an alley. It's actually a driveway,
Mm-hmm.
but it reminds you of an alley. And when I told him the name, he said, "Oh yeah, we gonna be the Alley Cats," and it just stuck. So now I had some young ladies came down and they liked the Alley Cat name, so they just took it and revamped it, and now it's a thing. It's a whole
Make that like
vibe.
a singing group or something. Got
Yeah.
the Alley Cats performing
I
live.
love my Alley Cats too. Yeah, I love my Alley
That's
Cats.
dope.
It's a whole vibe now with the Alley Cat stuff.
Okay.
And they do their thing. I got, like I said, it's a lot of amazing people around me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? For
And
real.
it's a nice
so.
space. So you rent it out, right? What type
Yes.
of events have you had that you can rent out? I know you
name
do
it.
everything, right?
Yeah, you name it.
Birthday
We've
party.
had birthday parties, bridal showers, kids parties, and we got everything to do the parties there, basically.
Right,
you know what
right.
I mean? We've had repasses, memorials,
Mm-hmm.
called it Senior Saturdays.
What's that?
So we just have all the seniors come out. We make them brunch right there in their
Oh,
face.
that's
Chef
cute.
Tafani.
What's up? Shout out Chef Tafani.
Yeah.
One of the best to ever do it.
Yeah, so we cook them brunch, and
Okay.
they listen to their music and they dance and they drink mimosas
That's what's up.
and.
So I'm 36. Can I how senior do
No,
I gotta
you
be?
might
I'm
come on
saying-
Saturdays because see we can return
right.
Saturdays at the 30 and over.
Oh, worry.
Alright.
Yeah, I still got my 30 and over club card. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I was mad as shit when they stopped. Couldn't wait to be 30.
Right.
Y'all stopped giving out 30 and over club card. So, all right, cool. I'll come to that then.
Yeah, so the senior Saturday. I mean, you're welcome to come to senior Saturdays
Right.
and just volunteer, help out
True,
for real.
true.
Because
I
you
love
know it's
the
just
seniors.
something for the seniors to come out, safe environment, and have fun and listen to their music and hang out with their peers and stuff like that.
Okay.
Something for them to get. We had them coming from all over, all different type
Right,
of
right.
homes and stuff like that, like senior buildings and stuff.
Okay.
You have about 8 mobility buses pulling up.
They pulled up like a party bus.
Yeah.
Like, hey, get it, Granny.
Yeah,
I love
they had, and that was something real nice, and I was real passionate
That's
about.
what's up.
So
That's dope.
yeah.
And a lot of people don't do for the seniors too much. Like, they remember the kids all the time. People
Right.
remember the youth, but it's like the seniors are just sitting there like, hello.
Yeah,
so I
we
love that you
here.
do that. Yeah, that's what's
Yeah, I
up.
want to
You're
revamp
not
that
forgotten.
this year. Yeah, I want to revamp that. We're also gonna start having kid movie nights.
Okay.
Like we're gonna do a younger, and then we're gonna do like a teenage,
That's dope.
crowd. So.
And you better still have Kwanzaa, I'm just saying.
Oh,
Grandma-
Kwanzaa is a permanent fixture.
Grandma's
in
with the
alley.
ancestors, but we gotta
Yeah,
still have Kwanzaa.
Man, Kwanzaa.
Saying,
Kwanzaa is a permanent fixture in,
For
the, in
sure.
the alley. We're going to have Kwanzaa every year. My
I love
daughter's
it.
like, Ayana Falima, they ain't going to let me not have it.
Not at all.
So-
You gonna light them candles.
Yeah, definitely.
I love it. I love it. So
Yeah.
while we on that topic, let's talk about this beautiful lady that you have on your neck. That we
Yeah.
are. This show is actually dedicated to Spike's mother, who is also my Aunt Rocky. People call her
Yeah.
Grandma Rocky. Wait, y'all got the tissues on deck? I hope my yeah.
I'm gonna be alright.
Yeah.
But
I'm talking about for me, man.
Yeah.
I'm already tearing up. Look at you, I'm looking at it on the chain.
Yeah.
But so yeah, tell us about Rocky.
This podcast ain't long enough.
It ain't.
I mean, my mother was the most wonderful person I've ever known in my life, and not just because she was my mother.
Very much.
Because she was so much more to so many more. It wasn't just me feeling like this.
Mm-hmm.
So if it, everybody, oh, that's your mother, of course you're going to feel, no.
Right.
My mother had this effect on everybody she came in contact with. And, I mean, she was, well, I don't even know how to describe her.
Yeah.
And that's why I couldn't do therapy, because I don't know how to describe her. I wouldn't know what to say.
Exactly.
But, yeah, my mother was ride or die. My mother was ride or die. And I've had plenty conversations with women that say, when you take on a wife or a woman, did she come first? Hell no. Y'all lucky my mother gone, because I would never put a woman before my mother, ever. Ever. Under no circumstances. I'm sorry, but I don't play like that. Right. But seriously though, my mother, she was there through thick and thin. I took that woman through holy hell and she never turned her back on me. You know what I'm saying? Women come and go. Why would I put a temporary in front of a permanent?
That's a good point. I never even thought about it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I would never put no.
Because they got breakups and divorce.
Right.
My mother never broke up or divorced me, so
right.
You know what I mean?
It's a permanent
job.
A
permanent job, and like she's never turned her back. And like I said, I took that woman through hell. I tell the story all the time. I was sitting on the couch in the house, and the police bang on the door looking for me.
I love this story. I was hoping you would share it. Go ahead.
They bang on the door. Boom, boom, boom. She opened the door. We looking for Stephen Coleman. Well, he's not here. Well, do you mind if we come in and check? She said, you got a warrant? They was like, no, we don't. She said, I know you have a body attachment. You catch him out there, you good. As long as he in here, y'all.
Right.
Anything else? Okay, get up, I got
get off my steps. You ain't got no warrant.
As soon as she closed that door, cussed me out. I told you stop having these goddamn people coming to my house. But that was the type of person she was.
Right.
She would give it to me, but can't nobody else.
Straight cut.
Nobody else. She wouldn't let nobody
Alright,
else.
was the only older person I knew that would cuss, but it don't feel like they cussing because they did it with love.
Yeah,
like,
that's right.
Cuss you out real quick. But
yeah.
It's gonna be the most loving cuss out you ever got. Like,
she was definitely a sweetheart.
Right.
She made me who I am today.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't leave my stepfather, my Charlie Gibbs. He definitely helped groom me as well. You know what I mean? To be a man. My uncles, Uncle Bernard, Uncle Bunny, and Uncle Ronnie, all of them, they taught us how to be men.
Right.
My mother instilled a lot of respect, integrity, and these are things that I held even throughout my addiction.
Right.
It's like respect earns respect, have integrity, and just being honest and, and loving and caring. Right. And that's where I get it from, because I'm a giver. You know what I'm saying?
You would literally give the last of your last to help somebody out.
I'm a giver. It's tough at times because a lot of people don't appreciate it. And it's, and I never give with no expectations. Right. What I do from my heart. And I let people fuck themselves. Excuse me.
We come on here.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mentioned that.
Yeah, but I let people fuck themselves right out of my life.
Much. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to do what, I'm going to be who I am.
Void. That's how I feel. People did me wrong, you're going to feel that void real quick.
Yeah, ain't no doubt. I'm going to be who I am, and at the end of the day, I'm going to be okay.
Yep.
Because God knows my heart.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like, I'm genuine. And that's what I want around me, all genuine people. And but she just wow, she taught us our heritage, like going to Africa 3 times.
I got on my African drum earrings for her today. I was like, I gotta wear something.
Yeah, she taught us our heritage, and like where a lot of our friends didn't graduate high school and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. Not a lot of them, because we come from a pretty good community, but people in our age group,
Right.
uh, my parents stayed on us
Right.
to finish school. I lived in a household where you couldn't come in the house and say you ain't had no homework. Oh, you ain't got no homework?
You gonna
Grab
study
one of
something.
them black encyclopedias and read up on this person
Exactly.
and write me a
Get
report.
the dictionary and write a couple words
There
down
you
or
go.
something.
Yeah. So
yeah.
it was all about school instruction in our
Mhm.
houses growing up and stuff like that. That's why I say the road that me and my brothers took, we didn't have to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We didn't have to. We chose to. But I just thank God my mother left this earth knowing that me and my only remaining brother was doing good, and I think that's why she felt comfortable enough to go.
Right. Right.
Because her kids and her grandkids all doing good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
She definitely held on. I was just telling my homegirl, I was like, oh, she literally had to be the longest person that had cancer.
Yeah.
And they had stage 4 for like 50 years.
That's what it seemed like.
Stage
Yeah.
4 that long.
Yep, that's
Like,
what it
she
seemed like. She
held
fought.
all
She
the
was a
weight on
fighter.
that.
That's
She
who she was.
fought.
She was a fighter.
Like,
You come on, we talking about a woman that had a heart attack, triple bypass
everything.
surgery. That was in the 80s.
Right. When she passed,
Like,
I ain't believe it. I said, ain't no way. She beat everything else.
Everything they threw her
anything.
way. You know what I mean? She beat it, and that's
Right.
what really That's what about her death really made me like. Cause I took her and it hurt so bad. Cause I took her to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
I actually took her to like urgent care.
Okay.
Cause her hip was hurting real bad.
Gotcha.
And she went there. They wound up keeping her. She stayed there 2 weeks. Came home for 2 weeks, and she was gone.
Mm-hmm.
But I be thinking like she walked to my truck and got in my truck when I took her to urgent care. And I cussed them people in the hospital out so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, y'all did something, my mother. This ain't
Right,
the same
'cause she
soldier that I
survived
brought in
everything.
here. Yeah, like y'all had to do something.
Right.
Cause this woman ain't y'all. It was like she was just a shell of herself, and that really ain't sit right with me.
But I think it's more what you said. She knew that we was good.
Yeah.
She knew that the family, and she
Yeah.
prepared us too. Like I ain't
Yeah.
never seen nobody prepare so many people for their death. Like
Yeah.
literally, she planned her own funeral
Planned
down
her own
to
funeral
every
down to
detail,
the
like
picture
down to
for
every
everything.
detail.
Yeah, she did. That woman was definitely,
That's my
a
baby,
stickler.
man.
and
Yeah, definitely dedicating this whole episode to rock. I just was telling my cousin, I was like, she would have been my first guest. Like my
Yeah.
first guest on Beat You with Ruth, she would have been so proud of me. Like, and she would have been
definitely.
guest
You
number
was
one.
her baby. Yeah,
I
definitely.
know. That's my boo.
Yeah, but yeah, I miss her.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good days and bad days with it.
For
You
sure.
know what I mean? It's coming up on a year too.
Yeah.
It's coming up on a year, and it ain't been the same. But
Never will.
nah, I won't.
I told my mother, I said, how the hell am I supposed to go through the rest of my life without my grandmother? Like, come on.
I know it's just like she's just always been here, so
Right.
it's very different. I won't do therapy because, quite frankly, I don't believe in it. But that's me. That ain't for y'all. That's me. I don't recommend it. Y'all need some
I'm
therapy.
about to
Go
say,
get
I
some
recommend
therapy. I'm good.
Therapy got me.
Yeah.
I did 3 years of that joint.
Yeah.
Got me right.
It did?
It did. It
Okay.
did. Yeah, it did.
All right. I don't know. Like I said, I just think for me, like I don't even know how to describe what my mother meant to me.
Right.
And like, you know who my therapists are? Philem and Ayan.
I knew you was about to say that.
Yeah.
I knew you was going to
They
say
my
that.
therapist.
Your brother.
Because if you didn't know the relationship we had and how much that woman meant, I don't like.
I ain't able to talk to
Even
you.
when I stopped using drugs and alcohol, which been 23 years
That's
now.
what's up. Okay. Clap
So
it up.
even when I stopped using drugs and alcohol, I
Mhm.
never wanted a counselor when I was in treatment. I never wanted a counselor that didn't get high.
Mm-hmm.
You can't,
You can't
relate.
I was about to say the same thing. You can't relate. Yeah.
I can't counsel a woman on menstrual cramps. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you don't know, how could you help me with this?
Right.
Because ain't nothing universal.
You're right.
It's nothing universal that's one thing gonna fix it for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just my take on it. I'm not trying to deter nobody from going to therapy. You need some therapy, go get some goddamn therapy.
If you don't need therapy, then go ahead and get some
Yeah.
good friends.
Right.
That's going to be your therapist. And they free, too. Go ahead and get
Yeah,
some
friends are
therapists.
free. My daughters are free, so I talk to them. My brother,
Right.
yeah.
So let's talk about your. You mentioned it a couple seconds ago. Your sobriety. Let's talk about that a little bit.
I've been drug and alcohol free for 23 years.
23.
April the 2nd, 2002 is the last day that I used any mind-altering, mood-changing chemicals.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was the adventure
up.
all in this.
I see. And what made you? What made you?
The police. No.
Okay, we said we keep it. It's be true with the room. My man said the police.
No, I was just no. I mean, I was literally sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'll tell that story real quick. I was I was out on 4 bails.
Okay.
I had 2 felony drug charges over west.
Okay.
And I caught 2 over east because I moved from over west on the run, of course. And I moved over east, over on Landvale and Barkley.
Got you.
And I started hustling over there, up on Preston, Greenmount, Landvale and Barkley, all that. So, I was always a check day hustler. Like, be real, I wake up on the 28th and I'm not going back to sleep till the 3rd.
Dang.
I want all the check money.
True.
Checks come
You
out.
don't make money.
Yeah, Social Security come out the end of the month. Welfare to be good. I wanted all the money, so. Yeah, so that particular morning, I never forget it. It was a rainy morning, April the 2nd. When I came out, none of the other workers showed up, the corner men, the hitters, nobody showed up. Okay. So when I went up to where we were hustling at, which was actually on Landvale and Latrobe, it's a little street called Latrobe, not the project Latrobe, but it's a street called Latrobe. It's right between Guildford.
Near the projects or no?
No, it's right there on Landvale and Barkley. You know where Landvale and Barkley is, right?
It's east. We over
yeah, it's east.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's right between like Guildford and Barkley.
Okay.
It's a little alley street. It might not be but 1 or 2 blocks of it.
Okay.
But anyway, that's where we was hustling at, right on that corner. So I came out that morning and I had like 3 packs, and it was like 300 packs of heroin. And when I got up there, it was drizzling, it was raining, there was already a line of people standing out there waiting. Right. So I ran across the street. It was an empty lot across the street. And I ran over there. I took one of them styrofoam trays, like your food come in, and I put a 100-pack in there. And I slid it under a piece of plywood. Okay. And I took the other 200 packs I had across the street, and I was doing everything myself. I'm hitting people, taking just stuffing money in my pocket. You know, by the time the line was gone, I had 2 pills of heroin left. And no sooner as the last person walked up, the knockers came from everywhere.
Damn.
And I knew how to get away. Like, I'm right there at the alley, so I could have ran this way, came out on Lafayette, cut that way, went down to Barkley. It was so many things I could have did, but I swear to God, I was so tired. I was tired of running. I was tired of getting high. What I did was just looked at them, and I took the top off of both of them pills of heroin and just did like it. And I put them up my nose, and I just stood there like this.
I never heard this story.
No,
Damn.
I was just tired.
Okay.
But just
like
to
you
show
turned yourself in, like.
Yeah, I did.
Damn.
I was tired. I surrendered. I literally surrendered. It was like, I know I could. If I'd ran, I'd have got away. Because I know all the cuts. I know where all the empty houses at and all that. So I was literally just tired of running and everything. So.
I like how you said you got your last hit, though. You said.
Yeah, I'm going to get this last one. Y'all ain't going to get this.
Right.
But after this, you know, so what happened was, just show you how cruddy police are. They set me down on the curb. He let me smoke a cigarette and everything. And he told the other knocker, he told 2 of the other guys, he said, go across the street because I saw him stash something over there when he first came. So they went across the street and they looking. He's standing there talking to me. He said, look, we know you out here selling heroin. We've been watching you all morning. I'm like, okay. Like, oh, okay. So what? So anyway, they came back across. They were like, Sarge, we can't find nothing. He said, go back over there and look, because I know I saw him go over there first when he first got up here. So they went back over there, and they searched and searched and searched, and they couldn't find nothing. So they came back. They were like, Sarge, I'm serious. We cannot find it. So he said, watch him. And he walked across the street. Here's my hand to God. This man came back across the street with 5 empty vials in his hand. He said, let me teach you a lesson. Never stash your drugs where people get high, because this all I need to lock you up. Put the cuffs on.
Damn.
And they charged me with everything that was in them empty vials. But the thing was, I was out on 4 bails. So like my lawyer even told me then he said if this was the only charge you had,
Right.
you would be okay.
Right.
He said, but you got 4 other ones.
Oh, other ones. God damn it, 'cause you was on what you call it, the installment pay.
They was like, you got 4 other cases pending. So, they offered me like 60 to 47. It was either one time was 47, one time was 60. Right. But they offered me a lot of time and I didn't take it. And I thank God I didn't. And I had a public defender. That was one of the best lawyers that I ever had. And her name was Marcy Johnson. I'll never forget it. And I actually saw her down the courthouse maybe a year or two ago. Right. I was down there for something else. And I heard somebody call her name and I asked her, was that her? And she was like, yeah. So this woman fought for me and she got me sent to a drug treatment program. The state's attorney was like, this man's record is horrendous. We won't accept nothing but jail time. And she stood up, she said, Jan, I agree, man's record is terrible. She said, but if you look at his record, this man needs some help. Send him to jail, it's not going to do nothing. He needs a treatment program. And I had one in court that'd take him today. I didn't even know. So I turned around, where he at? The judge, and she was like, we just asked him for like 10 years suspended, a year probation or whatever. And the judge looked at her and said, I think you're right, this man needs help. He said, but I'm not going to do it under what you're saying. He said, I'm going to suspend 20 years. I'm going to give him 3 years probation, and the probation does not begin until he completes 1 year in an inpatient drug treatment program because I'm 90% sure he's going to fail.
Damn.
Swear to God was his exact words. And I ain't got high sentence.
Right.
I ain't got high.
You had to prove somebody wrong.
I had to
you
prove
said,
wrong.
fuck y'all.
That's right. Yep.
Invite them down to the alley.
Yeah. That's how that whole thing started. So 23 years ago.
That's dope. Like when I tell you the story that you had, when your book coming out? That's all I want to know.
I'm writing my life story in poetry because I like to write poetry.
Oh, you said through poetry? Okay.
Yeah. So I gotta
That's what's up. I need a book. I'm just saying. It can be through poetry. I'm a poet too, so I would love that. But you gotta have something. Because the story that you can tell and the lives that you can save, that's why I say episode 3, I'm bringing my cousin. Because you have a story that could save a lot of these little black boys that are going straight down the path that you went. So for sure. So really quick, what do you have coming up? We got to wrap up in a couple minutes. So what do you have coming up? What's going on down the alley next?
So, what we have coming up is we have a Wednesday night party at the alley.
Okay.
We have Thursdays is karaoke and R&B.
Okay.
Fridays is just the party.
So every day of the week, we down the alley.
It seems like it. Like I need some break.
Right.
Like
you always working.
Yeah, because I'm saying I build houses during the day and I'm at the alley all night and I leave at 3, 4 o'clock.
I was surprised he could do the show. I just knew he was gonna be like, I ain't gonna be able to. He was like, I'm gonna be here.
I look forward to this and I love you and I'm proud of you. I love what you're doing. Like you always come out for me. You never anytime I call you there, and I respect that.
Or I'm gonna give you a reason that I'm on set or I'm not there, but
yes,
I'm always
I love that,
and vice versa. You definitely support Rue's Way to no end. So I appreciate you for that. All right, so real quick. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. I was trying to find this one poem I wanted to read real quick.
Oh, okay. And I'm gonna plug the alley and everything like that in the comment section.
Yeah, y'all come down to the alley, 3527 Dowfield Avenue.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna definitely tag them. As well as shout out to our sponsors again, Bianca Studios, the studio that I'm using, as well as Street Corner Fashions. And so my last question is, if you could write a letter to your younger self, what would it say?
Just don't give up.
I like that.
And don't be a follower.
Okay.
That would be my main 2 things. Don't give up, because there was a lot of times I thought about giving up.
Okay.
But, don't give up and don't be a follower.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I like those. Okay.
Be a leader in whatever you do.
That part. And lead the right way.
Yeah,
you can lead people too.
Yeah, you can lead them the wrong
and the right.
I was trying to find one of the first poems that I wrote.
Oh, wow, you gonna end with a poem? I love that.
Yeah,
I love the one you wrote for your daughter.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can.
Okay, so hold on, this ain't even the one that I was looking for, but I know we running
I
out
love
of time.
that. Okay, poetry come through.
I know we running out of time. So this one, all right,
It's the poems for me.
yeah.
Hey, we are creative in this family. See, you're supposed to have it memorized. Then you wouldn't have to do all this.
I do know most of it by heart, but all right, I'll read the one from 19 years. Okay, this is, well, I actually just wrote one for this year too. All right, let me read that. I got so many of them.
I see. You can't even choose.
Right.
I love it. The one you wrote for Ayana, though, for her graduation had me crying. I was like, it was so sweet.
Yeah.
Nah, it's cool, though.
All right, here we go. I'm going to just read the one from 19 years.
Okay.
This is, I write a new poem every year for my...
For your sobriety?
Yes.
That's dope.
Yeah, that's something I do. All right, so this one I was 19 years clean. It say, it's been 19 years, I can't believe in myself. I put down the drugs and alcohol and increased my wealth. Not only monetarily, but in peace and blessings too. Just a moment of clarity and look what God can do. He can do all things, I'm living proof. I was a very broken man and that is the truth. No, I'm not perfect and neither is my life. I go through ups and downs, some heartaches and some strife. But what is different now is the way I respond. I don't use drugs and alcohol to help me move on. These days I pray and just sit still. Knowing what I can't handle, God said He will. So as I continue this journey one day at a time, I pray for clarity and peace of mind. I also pray for strength to help others in my path. Every good deed comes back, so you do the math. I'm truly blessed beyond my wildest dreams. I have family, faith, and love, and that's really all I need. So I thank you, God, for blessing me each and every day and opening my eyes to see that there truly is a better way.
Oh,
So.
I love it. I'm over here like, we gotta wrap this up because my makeup is about to be gone. That is so sweet, cousin. Aw, I love it. You said you write one every year?
Yeah.
I love that. It's like a constant reminder of like where you were,
where I came from. But the first one,
the
first one was really deep. It was.
Yeah.
I don't know the whole thing about her, but I know a lot of it. But yeah. I'll say that for
you
next
perform at
episode.
cafes. I need like a poetry cafe. You gonna have to come to one of them
I
cafes
want to do that
with
too,
me.
like
a
spoken word. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
dope.
I want to have like a spoken word poetry kind of night.
Right.
You know.
People need to hear that.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, I'm actually writing my life story in poetry. I got a lot of them. Yeah.
I'm here for it. And, I'm gonna be the first one to buy it.
I know.
Give me that copy.
I know
I love it. I love the support. I love you.
I love you.
For sure. Thank you so much for coming. Like, this was a dope episode.
I loved it.
I love it. I feel Aunt Rocky's spirit all through here. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it. Be true with Rue. I hope y'all got as emotional as I did, because this is the poem for me. So come back in 2 weeks. We'll be back with actually one of my sponsors, Street Corner Fashion, the CEO Najee, as well as the COO Jamie. The Fox will be in the building. So make sure y'all come back in 2 weeks. Love y'all. Peace.
Peace. That was beautiful.
It was.
I like
We still
that.
going though.
I know.
Look at